friends! Okay, so I have no idea if my lights are going to be too chaotic or not in the background, but we're gonna leave them on to spice things up. Hey friends, my name is Miranda. Welcome to my universe. Today we are filming one of my favorite videos to film at the end of every year. I absolutely love doing like yearly wrap-up things, talking about my favorites, my least favorites of what I've read, what I've seen, what I've watched. It makes me so happy. Today we are going to be talking about my top 5 favorite books that I have read this year. And we're also going to be talking about my top 5 favorite animes that I have watched this year. If you've stuck around my channel for a while, then you are aware that I used to not watch any anime and it used to only be books, and I used to read like hundreds of books every year. That's a bit of an exaggeration, I will admit. That was a white lie there. I would read around 100 books every year, but this year I don't even think I made 50 books just because I've watched so much anime. But you know what? All storytelling at the end of the day. All right, so I'm first going to start with the books that I've read, and then I will later on move on to the anime. These are in absolutely no particular order because I just can't do that to myself, and I won't do that to myself. All right, first things first, the first book I ever read in 2021 is on this list, so I'm gonna talk about it. Mr. Mercedes by Stephen King. First of all, I absolutely love Stephen King. And second of all, this is a series. This is the first Stephen King series I've ever read. I read all 3 books in the trilogy, and I absolutely fell in love. This one is more of a detective kind of book mixed with thriller. To give a synopsis of this book, there is this killer on the loose, nobody has tracked him down, called Mr. Mercedes, and he's known by that name because he drove a Mercedes vehicle straight into a crowd of people, killing and injuring a lot of them. So nobody caught him, and Detective Bill Hodges was the one that was on the case. We follow him around specifically after his retirement. So years and years after this incident happened, he's almost haunted by this killer. He gets mysterious notes about the case, videos sent to his computer, things like that. So he tries to solve the case once again, kind of behind the police force's back. That's all I'm going to say about this one. I love it. I highly recommend this to any Stephen King fan, any detective crime fan. This is for you. Pick it up. Please do yourself a favor. I guess I'll go in order of when I read them this year. That sounds like a good idea. Then we got Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. Now this one I read towards the beginning of this year as well, and I really liked this one, but mainly because I am just a huge Cassandra Clare fan. I have followed all of her series, read almost all of her books that she has published. There's a few I still haven't gotten around to reading, but I just loved this one because you follow around the children of some of the main characters in her series, The Infernal Devices. So if you haven't read any of Cassandra Clare's other books, you need to do that first so you're not spoiled when you read these. This universe is filled with demons and angels and these shadow hunters who are half angel, half human, who protect humanity from the demons. And it's so good. There's a lot of romance in these, and these just hold so much nostalgia for me. This definitely caters to the audience, which is young adults, but every once in a while I just need that romance fantasy vibe. You know what I'm saying? So if that's the vibe you're looking for, pick up a Cassandra Clare book and thank me later. This next one I read, it's another Stephen King book, of course. The Stand by Stephen King. This one is all about this airborne virus that plagues the entire world, and we follow around certain groups of people around America, like across the country, as they try to figure out how to survive. We see the different governments that people build up. Horrifying things happen. After Under the Dome by Stephen King, this one is definitely the scariest book I've ever read, or the most thrilling, because you really see how ugly humanity can get when we're at the breaking point. And it's beautiful the way that Stephen King did everything, wrote his characters. It's a thick one. It's over 1,000 pages, so you really get time to just sit with these people who are broken. You feel so much emotion during this entire thing, and I loved 100% of it. I loved all of it. It's funny because when I first finished it, I gave it 4 stars, I believe. But as time goes on and I really sit and think about this book more, I absolutely just fall more and more in love with it. This is the same thing that happened with It by Stephen King. That one's like probably my favorite Stephen King book by now, but this one is excellent as well. Insane timing on my part because of just everything that's happening in this world, and even like the politics and things like that. It's kind of crazy. Stephen King, like, do you know something? Do you know something? So the 4th one, I'm just gonna say the entire series because I legitimately can't choose a specific volume. The Demon Slayer manga. My goodness, you guys. I don't own any of them, and I did not read the first, I think it was 12 or 13 volumes because I watched the anime instead, and I just picked up the manga from where I left off in the anime. But the amount of times I cried, unprecedented. Simply unprecedented. This series follows around our main character, Tanjiro Kamado, as he tries to survive in a world that is plagued by demons, and literally first chapter, his family dies. So he's left alone in this desolate world. He doesn't know what to do. He wants to be able to fight for himself, and he wants to avenge his family. He finds out that his sister got turned into a demon. So instead of killing his sister, he tries to find a way to transform her back into her human form. Kind of crazy, I know. I absolutely love this one, and you get to meet the Hashiras, which are specific types of demon fighters. They're demon slayers, you know, hence the name Demon Slayer. But each Hashira has a different type of fighting style. So my personal favorite, I'll just say it right now because y'all are here, but my 2 favorite Hashira will be the Wind Hashira and Stone Hashira. The fights towards the end of the series are absolutely insane. I still can't wrap my mind around them, and I can't wait for those to get animated into the anime because that's just going to be, it's going to break my brain, and I'm going to love every second of it. But anyway, if you are into manga and you have not read Demon Slayer, highly recommend it. And then the last book I'm going to be talking about, one that I just finished super recently, and it is so good. The Hawthorn Legacy by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is actually the 2nd book to the Inheritance games, and basically a man dies, a very, very rich man dies, and gives his entire inheritance, all of his belongings, to a complete stranger. And so we follow her around as she tries to figure out why he wrapped her up in his family's drama, what's going on, what are the underlining details, because she's definitely missing a lot of them. It's a mystery, romance, young adult, just a jumble of all of those genres in one beautiful masterpiece. I am loving this series so far. The romance, chef's kiss. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, now that we're done with the books, now it's time to move on to my top 5 favorite anime that I watched in 2021. Just to keep it fair, I'm only going to talk about 5 animes that I have caught up to or finished in their entirety. So let's get started. First one, gotta give it to him. Garen Logan. I swear by this anime. My cousins swear by this anime. I recommend it to any anime watcher ever, no matter, I don't care what your favorite genres are. Like, you just need to watch Garen Logan. Otherwise, what are you doing? This one is an older anime, but it's all about space travel and these people who live on this planet where they have been forced to stay underground and they don't know what is on the surface. And once they get to the surface, a battle ensues, and just, oh my God, this series, so amazing. 2nd season is my favorite, hands down. You need to watch it, okay? Kamina is my favorite character. I'll just say that too, because I love him. And yeah, that's all I have to say about this one. All right, 2nd anime I must talk about, and I would absolutely get down on my hands and knees and beg you to watch, would be Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Man, this one also is my favorite. I actually do like this one more than Garen Logan, simply because of the animation and the characters, like there are just so many characters in here that are super complex. You have all the 7 deadly sins in here, like just so freaking amazing. You follow around 2 brothers, Edward and Alphonse Elric, as they live in this world where they try to beat the bad guys and figure out how to get their bodies back because they did something that completely destroyed their bodies. I don't want to spoil anything. I'm trying to be very careful here, but it's so good. I personally really love Roy Mustang. You can't really see it because of the glare. I'll take him down. Roy Mustang, my baby right here. He uses fire. I have a thing for fire, boys. We don't know why, it's a mystery. But anyways, I love Roy Mustang, and just the fight scenes in this show, all of the philosophy in this show, just, it is so good. Like, it goes deeper and has so many meanings that you wouldn't catch on to if you weren't like really paying attention and thinking about it. Like, I still think about certain scenes in this show and my mind gets boggled every time. Like, I cried, I laughed, I absolutely sobbed. It was all so worth it. It was so worth it. Please watch Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. This next one absolutely matches up with my love for horror and that genre in general. We have Attack on Titan. Oh my god. The atmosphere in this anime, the characters, the trauma, the heartbreak, the politics, all wound up in a beautiful drop from heaven. I really like it just because I do like the rush and the adrenaline that I get from this kind of stuff. Basically, it is like a post-apocalyptic type of anime where you have this civilization living in this walled city, in these walled cities, and on the outside are titans, which are giant human creatures that they resemble humans, but they're not humans at all. They are complete monsters. They attack and eat anyone that they can get their hands on. And so we follow around these people as they try to defend their city and fight off the titans, but then also figure out how the heck they got into the position that they're in and what is really on the outside. This one is not finished. The last season, or the last part of the last season, I guess, if we're getting technical, comes out at the beginning of next year. So I can't wait for it. I wanted to read the manga, but I refrained. I want to feel all of the emotions while I'm watching it on the screen. So there you go. This one is definitely not for the faint of heart. A lot of crazy stuff goes down. A lot of people die, but I love it. I think it's amazing. Then we have a little bit more of a lighthearted one, but it definitely is dark as well. We have Jujutsu Kaisen. Now this one kind of gives me similar vibes of Naruto, which is about a bunch of ninjas. This one is more about people who are fighting off curses, which are very similar to demons, but they have different jutsus and different ways, like different hand signs and things that they can do to fight them off. Oh my god, I love this one so much. My mind can't even like put things together. This one only has 1 season out right now. Very fast, binge worthy, 100%. You just gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. And then last but not least, we have the anime that I have most recently finished. And it's very different from all the rest, but this is Haikyuu. Oh my god. I love this one. So in Haikyuu, all it's about is a bunch of volleyball boys in high school. I love it. I absolutely love this one. I didn't think I would. I thought it would be very boring. I don't know if it was because I had such low expectations that like now I'm just absolutely adore it, but this one is so good. It has a way of mesmerizing you and keeping you in the story, and all you want to do is just see how the characters develop and grow. It was so wholesome, lighthearted. I absolutely loved it. I highly recommend this one, actually, to anybody, no matter what your tastes are. Whether you think you'll like sport anime or not, just watch it. You never know. You never know. All right, and that is all for this video. I love you guys so much. Please be safe, make good choices, and I'll definitely see you next time. Bye!